Hello, everyone. I will try to share my screen right now and show you my presentation. So yes, hello once again. Thank you really for inviting me to this wonderful event. I am Agnese, and I am representing National Library of Latvia. And today I will shortly introduce to you the education system in the library field in Latvia, how the training is arranged, and then more describe the role of National Library of Latvia in this system in whole. And then I will also touch upon some changes regarding librarian training in a bit wider context. And also I will tell you about the competencies had and also needed by librarians in Latvia and what we in the National Library do to respond to them. I will give some examples. Before I begin about all these topics I just mentioned, for you to better understand what I will be talking about, I will just shortly mention a few points about National Library of Latvia. Founded in 1919, it moved to the new building in 2014. You can see it in the picture. And this, of course, came with new premises, new activities, and new strategies. And currently, we have several different departments with many functions, also regarding educational work. So we even have educational development strategy for a 5-year period. And this mainly talks about 3 directions: literacies, culture and science, and vocational training and development as whole of specialists in the library field and also sometimes allied sectors. Currently, we have begun our work on the new strategy, and I am saying this to emphasize that education work is quite important and also well managed here in National Library of Latvia, and also quite well structured. Even more so, in 2016, the National Library of Latvia became an accredited educational institution. So this is also very important. However, as I promised in the beginning, I will start by describing the training or education system in Latvia regarding library sector, which all in all is quite well developed. First, I have to mention that, of course, there is informal and non-formal learning happening in the libraries themselves. For example, regional main libraries, which currently are 29, regularly give methodological support. They organize some courses for the libraries in their region and their workers. I will also later show some data in regards to this. Of course, there are other institutions, some learning centers, schools, independent teachers that offer non-formal education and possibilities. For example, we know the platform Epale that helps to learn new digital tools in these times. There are language courses, psychology, and many others. So these are not targeted only to librarians, of course, but they can definitely use all those other opportunities. National Library of Latvia also provides a wide range of non-formal education programs, or courses, let's say, regarding information searching, databases, legislation, copyright, user service, collection management, and many others. So these are courses more regarding librarian professional competencies. Our library also consults about almost everything, all the works and all the functions, educational work, collections, work in pandemic, literature, literacies, and many other aspects. Mainly, this is the work of Competence Development Center and also Library Development Center. However, a Competence Center also carries out 2 formal educational programs, one of which is library science. So this is 960 hours plus internship plus qualification exam. And when you get all of this, then students get the certificate of qualification in the profession librarian. And this is the lowest level of qualification in library field that you can get in Latvia. Then also here in the library, there is professional development program called Information and Library Science Basics. And also National Library provides assessment of non-formal learning outcomes as a basis for allocation level to the qualification. Basically, this means that those people who have great professional experience, they maybe work in library for 20, 25 years, they don't have to go to this education program. They can just prove that they already work in the field, and then they just have to do the qualification exam, and then they get the qualification without studying in the program. The next level is college, College of Culture. Here you can get the certificate as a library information specialist, which is a level higher than the education provided in National Library. And also, as you can see, it is shown in the title. It's not only just librarians, but also information management, information specialist as this next level. And then there are academic bachelor's and master's programs in information management provided by University of Latvia. Students get degree in social sciences, library science, and information. University of Latvia also organizes different non-formal programs for library fields, for example, courses for school librarians specifically. Currently, there are no professional programs in the 6th and 7th qualification levels. There are only academic programs. And also, when we talk about bachelor's and master's levels, of course, you can study in related academic programs. For example, in Latvian Academy of Culture, you can study cultural heritage management and communication. This whole system I just described is closely connected with professions and jobs and the whole field in general. Currently, a working group is working on developing library industry qualification structure, which basically shows all the professions and jobs and educations currently in the field. It gives kind of a map of all those aspects. And not only about the professions that already are here, but maybe also what we will need in the future. And in connection to this, also this year, profession standards are being updated. And this goes closely together with education, because education programs have to have content and curricula corresponding to this profession standard. So basically, a standard says what is expected from the profession, for example, if the profession is librarian, and then the program needs to prepare such professionals. When they get the qualification, it has to correspond with the standards. And so this is closely connected to understanding the topical or new competencies that should be included in the standards, and also education in whole. Now I will talk more about the work of National Library of Latvia, what we do to determine new competencies and needs for library workers, as well as how we try to respond to those needs. Competence Center last year and this year carried out several surveys to kind of get idea what library workers need from us, from our courses, and what topics they need to learn, and what they think, which competencies librarians have already, what they need to develop, what they will need in future, and etc. And I will show you just some of those data to illustrate. And so this survey regarding library worker competences was answered by 1,049 individuals. And as we can see, 85% think that the field provides sufficient and enough opportunities for education. So we can conclude that library workers in Latvia are mostly satisfied with the training system. In the same survey, we also asked if they are satisfied with professional development that is provided by regional main libraries. And here, similarly, 70% were completely satisfied with this support, and 19% were partly satisfied, which is also quite a good indicator, I think. Also, respondents evaluated if their education that they have already is enough to do their everyday work in the library. And here, approximately 60% said that it is completely enough. However, we have researched what library workers want to improve and learn more. Even though they think they have enough, they do realize that they need something else and something more also. So these are a bit different data. Here we compiled our course evaluation surveys from 2016 to 2020, where we also asked a question: what else would you like to learn here in the Competence Center in National Library? And here we divided the answers, which were in total around 2,000, in two categories: general competencies and professional competencies for librarians. Even though our learners often mentioned competencies and themes that are more general, like languages, projects, psychology, literature science, marketing, translations, and others, I will talk more about professional competences they mentioned, because in National Library, we have our mission to develop and support those specific competencies, because others, the general competencies can be learned in other institutions and organizations, as I mentioned in the beginning. And just one note also before I continue. We have actually noticed that even if we provide that kind of courses in these topics, people don't really apply. So sometimes it feels like it's just a bit of wishful thinking and fantasy. What could I learn, but not maybe so closely related to what they actually in that moment need. But that's just a kind of prediction. So, but regarding professional competencies, top 5 themes or topics were these. So firstly, databases. how to use them, how to search national and international databases, digital resources in them, and many others. Second, most mentioned topic was library work with children regarding new methods, approaches, how to work with children and youth. And this demand has grown during the years, and I think that it is closely connected with the fact that the new competence education model is implemented in schools in Latvia currently. Thirdly, it is collection management. This is natural since collection is in the center of library work, and so librarians say they always need to refresh and supplement their knowledge in inventory, documents, gathering, evaluation, classification, etc. Also topical always is library work in general, such as information science, work organization, terminology, library history, and others. And lastly, in top 5 is information searching, or information literacy. How to search, how to do it creatively, how to search in digital collections, and etc. So this demand also grows throughout the years. We have also asked different library workers in another survey, what are the most needed competencies for librarians? And I will show you some responses. You can also see them already on the screen. All in all, librarians, most of them agree that in this day and age and current climate, it is a must to regularly refresh the knowledge and improve their competencies. One aspect, of course, are technologies, new electronic resources, new technologies, digital platforms, and others. A librarian has to follow the newest topics and trends. It is kind of their duty and responsibility. Librarians agree that library field is changing rapidly, and librarians need to follow to keep up. They also say that currently they are missing or incomplete are these competencies: digital literacy, knowledge about innovations, presentation skills, communication skills with different audiences, with different needs, cooperation skills, knowledge about literature, about databases, leadership skills, creative thinking, and others. So we can see that librarians admit the competencies they need to work in library nowadays are never complete and need to be improved all the time. They say that librarians need to know everything, not only about library work specifics, but the different air services, how the government works, newest interest amongst children, and others and others and others. And this is why they say that librarians also have to be very flexible, very creative with initiative, need to know how to prepare and lead different projects and new initiatives, how to search for and find any information. They need to learn all the time. And this is why we often hear from librarians here in Latvia that librarian, it is a human orchestra that has to know a little bit of everything and has to be always ready and always learning. So we try to respond to different new tendencies and demands and needs as much as we can here in National Library. And I would like to show you just some examples, some recent examples. Of course, non-formal programs, 4, 6, 8 hours, 30 hours, or whatever what is needed. we try to manage them. If we see the need, the demand, we always look for new topics, new interests that we can provide courses about. For example, when Universal Decimal Classification System was updated, we included course about that in our offer quite quickly, etc. Last year, also Ministry of Culture gave 30,000 euro financing for National Library to carry out kind of impromptu online courses, more than 70 hours in total for digital skill development, which included topics about how to make digital visual materials, how to organize online events, how to make virtual exhibitions, about communication tools online, social media marketing. So here our ministry saw that pandemic asked for a new and rapid kind of new competencies and needs, and so they through National Library organized these courses for librarians and also museum workers. Just a few weeks ago, we submitted also a project for State Cultural Capital Foundation about different courses. They included about newest trends from IFLA, about resultative indicators in library. They also included courses for library directors about change management and how to get over this crisis. They also included courses continuing the digital skill development regarding presentations, and also they included seminars about health literacy and how to maintain mental health in this time. Then also we have this year developed a completely new 76-hour non-formal program, educational program regarding open science and science communication. Our colleagues have seen this as a new, rapidly developing field and asked the Competence Center to prepare and carry out a brand new program, which will also, which we will do in autumn. Another example is that we give support for educational work in libraries. And this year we are organizing kind of creative think tanks about 3 topics: children and youth, adult education, and librarian professional development themselves. And we try to give librarians help, inspiration, tools, and information regarding these topics. We have also modified our andragogy course to include also topics about different digital platforms and tools to use in adult education. So we also kind of change and develop the programs that we already have when we see that there is a need or some new trends or tendencies. So these are just a few examples of our initiatives, of our work, what we do, and how we try to respond to the needs of librarians. I thank you for your attention, and also I will answer any questions if there will be any. Thank you.